The Haunting of Ward. Tucked away in the secluded Oak Ridge Psychiatric Hospital, the night shift on Ward B was notorious among the hospital staff. Nurse Maria had heard the rumors circulating among her colleagues, patients muttering about seeing things in the darkness, shadows that danced just out of sight. Yet she remained skeptical until one fateful night. As Maria made her rounds, the dimly lit corridor seemed to stretch endlessly before her, the air heavy with an oppressive silence. Suddenly, she heard a chilling laughter echoing through the empty halls, seemingly coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. Brushing it off as her imagination playing tricks on her, Maria continued on her rounds. But then, as she turned a corner, she came face to face with a figure shrouded in darkness. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light as it reached out to her with spectral hands. Frozen in fear, Maria could only watch as the figure dissipated into the night, leaving her shaken to the core. From that moment on, the staff of Ward B knew that they were not alone, and that the darkness held secrets beyond their wildest nightmares. The Vanishing security guard. The sprawling complex of Apex Industries was a labyrinth of corridors and stairwells, its shadows growing longer with each passing hour. Security guard Alex had patrolled the grounds for years, but it was on a particularly foggy night that his worst fears were realized. Surveillance cameras captured Alex walking down a dimly lit corridor, his flashlight cutting through the darkness like a beacon. But then, in the blink of an eye, he vanished without a trace, leaving behind only his footsteps fading into the mist. Despite an extensive search by the authorities, no sign of Alex was ever found. Some speculated that he had fallen victim to foul play, while others whispered of a more sinister explanation, that the darkness of the night had claimed him for its own, dragging him into the abyss from which there was no return. The Phantom Printer. In the labyrinthine halls of Silvertech Solutions, employees working the night shift began to notice strange happenings around the office printer. Documents would print of their own accord, seemingly guided by an unseen force, while eerie messages would appear on the paper, written in a language that nobody recognized. Despite attempts to disconnect the printer and investigate its inner workings, the mysterious occurrences persisted, leaving the employees terrified of what otherworldly entity might be lurking within the machine. Some claimed to have seen ghostly apparitions hovering over the printer, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light as they whispered cryptic messages into the night. The printer became a focal point of fear and speculation, its presence a constant reminder that the darkness of the night held secrets that were not meant to be revealed. The Ghostly Janitor. The historic Grand Oak Hotel stood as a testament to a bygone era, its grandeur fading with each passing year. Guests on the night shift reported encounters with a spectral figure dressed in old-fashioned janitorial attire. The ghostly janitor would appear suddenly, mop in hand, as if he were still carrying out his duties from beyond the grave. Some claimed to feel a chill in the air whenever he was near, as if the very essence of the hotel's past lingered in his presence. Despite efforts to capture evidence of his existence, the ghostly janitor remained elusive, leaving guests and staff alike unsettled by his spectral visits. Some speculated that he was a former employee who had met a tragic end, while others whispered of a darker origin. That he was a vengeful spirit, bound to the hotel by unfinished business that kept him tethered to the mortal realm. The Cursed Call Center. In the bustling heart of the city, the call center at Night Voice Communications was a hive of activity even in the dead of night. But as the hours grew late, employees began to notice a series of unexplained phenomena. Calls would come in from disconnected lines, and customers would report hearing strange noises or voices in the background. Some employees even claimed to receive calls from deceased loved ones, their voices distorted and filled with an otherworldly echo. As the incidents escalated, the call center became a hotbed of paranormal activity, with employees fearing they had unwittingly stumbled upon a portal to the realm of the dead. Despite attempts to rationalize the events, the darkness of the night seemed to hold sway over the call center, its presence a constant reminder that some mysteries were not meant to be unraveled. The Phantom Elevator. The gleaming towers of Horizon Plaza rose high into the night sky, their windows reflecting the twinkling lights of the city below. Workers on the night shift grew wary of the building's aging elevator, its metal doors groaning with each ascent and descent. At random intervals, the elevator would descend to the basement level on its own, its doors opening to reveal a pitch-black abyss. Those brave enough to step inside reported feeling a sense of unease, as if they were being watched by unseen eyes. Despite attempts to repair the malfunctioning elevator, the strange occurrences persisted, leaving the night shift workers trapped in a never-ending cycle of fear and uncertainty. Some speculated that the elevator was haunted by the spirits of those who had met their demise within its confines, while others whispered of a darker force at play, that the elevator was a gateway to a realm beyond the mortal world, its depths concealing secrets that defied comprehension. The Abandoned Laboratory. Deep within the heart of the city, an abandoned laboratory stood as a monument to scientific curiosity gone awry. Urban explorers who ventured into its decaying halls spoke of disturbing experiments conducted within its walls. Test subjects lay suspended in tanks filled with an unknown liquid, their eyes open but devoid of life. Strange symbols adorned the walls, and the air was thick with the stench of decay. As the explorers delved deeper into the laboratory's secrets, they uncovered evidence of occult rituals and scientific atrocities that defied explanation. Terrified, they fled the abandoned laboratory, vowing never to return to the darkness that lurked within. Some speculated that the laboratory was a breeding ground for unspeakable horrors, its halls haunted by the restless souls of those who had met their demise at the hands of its twisted experiments. The Creepy Doll Factory. In the heart of the city, a rundown doll factory stood as a grim reminder of a bygone era. Workers on the night shift reported encounters with dolls that seemed to move on their own, their lifeless eyes following their every move. Some claimed to hear the sound of tiny footsteps echoing through the empty halls, while others swore they saw the dolls' eyes glow with an otherworldly light. As the night shift workers delved deeper into the factory's dark history, they uncovered tales of a deranged toy maker who had imbued his creations with the souls of the damned. Fearing for their lives, they abandoned the factory, leaving behind the haunted dolls and the sinister secrets that lay hidden within its walls. Some speculated that the dolls were cursed by the toy maker's dark magic, their presence a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked just beyond the realm of human understanding. The Phantom Train Station. At a deserted train station in the dead of night, passengers waiting for the last train home reported encounters with ghostly apparitions. Shadowy figures would materialize on the platform, their faces twisted in agony as they reached out to the living. The sound of distant footsteps echoed through the empty station, and the air was heavy with the scent of burning coal. Despite the late hour, the station seemed alive with the spirits of the departed, leaving passengers paralyzed with fear as they awaited the arrival of the phantom train. Some speculated that the station was a gateway to the afterlife, its platforms serving as a resting place for the souls of those who had met their demise at the hands of the iron horse that once ruled the rails. The Mysterious Hospital Morgue. Deep within the bowels of a hospital morgue, a night shift attendant stumbled upon a hidden chamber filled with rows of empty body bags. Strange symbols adorned the walls, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. As the attendant investigated further, they uncovered evidence of a sinister cult that had used the morgue as a place of dark rituals and human sacrifice. Terrified, they fled the scene, vowing to never return to the depths of the hospital, where the darkness of the night held sway. Some speculated that the cult had opened a portal to the realm of the dead, their twisted ceremonies invoking forces beyond human comprehension. From that moment on, the hospital morgue became a place of dread and despair, its secrets buried beneath layers of darkness that no mortal dared to penetrate.